As we come on air every evening, the whole world must listen. As long as we preach this very gospel, Chukwu Okike Abiama must be with us. Therefore, without any further hesitation, we must proceed to offer every prayer to Chukwu Okike Abiama who resided in heaven. Therefore, as we always commence, not from today, but from of old, our Father who art in heaven, Nna nke bi n'eluigwe, ka aha gị dị nsọ, that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and adulation, because there is none like thee. You fight our battles for us. Every blessed day you demonstrate through your kindness and your everlasting mercy that you are our Lord, our God, and our Creator. This evening we offer these your children unto thee. All over this very planet that you created, they are listening across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet where they inhabit. They are listening to your gospel this very evening, this gospel of redemption, a gospel of hope, a gospel of restoration, a gospel of renewal, this very gospel of freedom, this very gospel of emancipation as only you ordained, that this very gospel must be preached, that mankind may be set free from the eternal damnation of the creation of the British. My goodness me, I want to remain in the spirit, because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have spilled, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, O Lord of hosts, to have mercy upon us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day Chukwu Abiama binigwe whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth, Chukwu Okike Abiama, to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. those words can never be in vain because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace. Under our command, O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoko. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said, my name is Kanu. I am the leader of indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet, I tell you. I lead indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. So also do I command the armies of Biafra. They are fiercely loyal. They are loyal, I tell you, and doing the work that I expect them to do. I also direct Radio Biafra, not through.
It's Young Flight on the beats.
The silver jacket body with Biafra gun. Umokoko, mad people everywhere. Dara. What you don't know is bigger than you. 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 Hey. He dey pay me, oh, gaga. He dey pay me, oh, gaga. He dey pay me, oh, gaga. This your G, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. The one thing you can do to a black man is to tell the black man the truth, yeah. The one thing you can do to a black man is to tell the black man the truth, yeah. Ah, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. Mama, he dey pay me, oh, gaga. In this your G, they pay me, oh, gaga. Sabotu asi, they pay me, oh, for you. Obi dati, obi them fools everywhere. Obi dati, obi them fools everywhere. Obi dati, obi them fools everywhere. When we talk about our freedom, we not go the fence. When we talk about our freedom, they go the fence. When we talk about our freedom, they go the fence. Yeah, he they pay me, oh, gaga. Mama, he they pay me, oh, gaga. In this your G, they pay me, oh, gaga. Sabotu asi, they pay me, oh, gaga. Yeah. Biafra voice 247. Love you, we love you, Reggie, me blood brother man, you know. We go Chris. Gia Magaja, Ogaraf, Rastaman of God. Love. Yeah. Biafra Cuckoo, bad guy, you know. Water master, love you. Akashi haba go honu, hage chala wezere miri. All them enemies of Biafra, mad people everywhere. You are living in darkness, suffering and smiling. When we talk about a freedom, now go the best. You are living in darkness, suffering and smiling. When we talk about a freedom, now go the best. Yeah. He depend me for you. He depend me gaga. Africans, he depend me gaga. Listen, G, he depend me gaga. Ah, he depend me gaga. He depend me gaga. I don't know what's wrong with the reasoning ability of a black man. My God. So I'm on that maximum respect. Yeah. He depend me for you. He depend me gaga. Africans, he depend me gaga. Mr. G, he depend me gaga.
Makana wapana kamadu muna kujukwenanya lewa miriwe oje si makasuna no ogatika by your life because the end time sorry ndi mutu inusi agwa ti matiano di eburisi ya na tresu tiri ege ko makwese makanu panu boko Opa tichiria, abona bosomu yamu, ona yeku chikona kana. Asi maburo kuno mare, ya buru biharu, namogara pala namu, sorondi bosomu. Opa no maketo, money is not everything. Let's fight for our freedom. For our freedom is our right. Papa mo paramsi. Nabia frabala mo, iya buna nene kambu paraya no. Makano jife wata winyaka ye, akalobe ilo leseya. Oye wife wapara nifeya, nka waparuko. Biafra is my life. Biafra waparuko. I must go back to our land. And just a Kanu to go to say. Ogonyega bara mufero, ifa unkemere ya foyetego. Gana topi meyoso, ogono dira kuri kahala. Mano yesu na bugoba na hibu, wesi no choro wa Nigeria. Ya biko solo ndia usala ugausa, kanyo wezoro waneba. Maka no buro ugausa, azegu governor is. Loka kita pandia usofuma.
All right. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom. You are welcome to this very live presentation. We are live and direct. This is not our normal time, but of course, we have deemed it very, very necessary to come this very moment to do the needful. I welcome every one of you live and direct. We have no time. We have to move forward immediately because we've got something to discuss this very afternoon. Welcome once again. Welcome, my brothers and sisters. I can see your names in the comment section. You all are highly welcome to this very live broadcast. I will do everything humanly possible to make it interactive section so that all Biafrans will be able to call in and, of course, make their decision and contribution. Because the topic this very afternoon is all about Nnamdi Kanu, P2B, and the effort to politicize
the situation of Nnamdi Kanu. So please, once you are here, endeavor to welcome others, because it is very, very important that this very gospel goes viral and all Biafrans get to know what is going on. Obieze, you are welcome. I can see you. Irene Ehi, you are welcome. Godwin Chukwemeka, you are welcome. Emeke Kezie, you are welcome. Pito Kafo, you are welcome. Harrison Ahameful, I can see you. Sonny, you are welcome. Paul CD, you are welcome. Nwobala, you are welcome. Don Wapale, I can see you. You are welcome. Zuzu Kelechi, you are welcome. Victor Mbwemena, my person, you are welcome. John Omuigi, you are welcome. Mbojikwe, you are welcome. Odogu Frank, you are welcome. Sisi, you are welcome. Stella Isaac, you are welcome. I can see you. Emogi, you are welcome. Yes, oh my goodness me, of course, the names are too many already in the comment section. And as usual, I will not be able to mention every one of you, but I want to promise you to keep on commenting. And once your comment catches my eye during the broadcast, I will definitely show your comment on the screen, and of course read it out for everyone to hear. All right, we have to move on immediately. Please, I welcome every one of you. If I do not mention you right now, don't worry yourself. You are highly welcome to this very live presentation. We have to move immediately without further hesitation. Now, the publication that was, circulated or that broke the internet yesterday was that what's the name? Mr. P2B. Mr. P2B is currently asking or calling for the immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. When I say IPOB, I'm talking about the Biafrans at large. I'm talking about the real meaning of IPOB, which is the indigenous people of Biafra. So, because most of these nowadays, I feel so ashamed to mention that very word called IPOB. I'm telling you the honest truth. I feel very, very ashamed to mention the word IPOB, but I won't stop mentioning it because it is my identity. Like as I said before, and I am repeating it again, I do not regard IPOB as an organization. I see IPOB as a blood that runs through my vein and through the vein of every individual in the old eastern region of the damnable zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. Hence, I will always, mention it regardless. So IPOB, not as an organization, but as a people, the indigenous people of Biafra. The other IPOB run by some criminal elements in the name of DOS have been bastardized, has become a criminal entity, a criminal organization, and of course, a business empire. So that is, ndị Igbo si na mekanik ekwerozai malụ ndị bụ ndị ala. Mekanik ekwerozai malụ ndị bụ ndị ala. But of course, we will always, try to recognize mechanic when we see them, irrespective of their addresses. Happy Sunday, all of you, my wonderful people of Biafra listening to me right now. Please, once you are joining me, endeavor to like and share this very broadcast. Is very, very important. We are not going to waste our time right here. We are going to use the time judiciously in order to deliver the message and face some other things that we are doing. Today is Sunday. I believe most of our people are in the church, while some of them are taking care of their family. Some of them have taken their families out there, at least to give them a good treat. But those of us who are here listening to this very gospel, including me, who are here already in the studio of Biafra Unite channel / television, we are, of course, not that the other ones who are not here are not hardcore, no, but at least we are hardcore. Let me put it that way. I'm sorry if you are not here. Okwagogi. We are hardcore. Not that those who are out there enjoying themselves are not hardcore. No, I never said so. For those of us who are still shooking eyes into Biafran matters, today being Sunday, we supposed to have what is called bosa kwesị iwepụrụ anyị aka maka n'ihi na ọ dịrị izi. Now, let me share the first screen for what we will be discussing this very afternoon, and then can we hear Bapi also from here? Of course, you can see this is from Daily Post Nigeria. They said, Obi decries insecurity in Nigeria, calls for release of Kanu, other detainees. So I, of course, read this very particular one yesterday during my during my pre-recorded broadcast. I talked about it, but I did not have the opportunity required, the time required to do proper justice to this, to do the proper analysis to this, because I've also gathered some video clips which I will be playing moving forward that will also give us clear picture of what we are talking about concerning this very man on the screen. Because some people may think that we are trying to antagonize him. We are not antagonizing anybody. What we say here is only but the truth. What we say here is nothing but the truth. We always give opportunity and chance for other people, including non-Biafrans and, of course, non-lovers of freedom, to come in here and, of course, ask us some questions, some very, very important questions, or even to debate with us. Because I myself, me personally, am a lover of argument, reasonable and meaningful argument. I love argument so much. In fact, I am one of the #1 people in the world that love argument. And of course, I always love it when it is meaningful, so that others will learn. I may not know everything. If I make any mistake, you can, of course, correct me. Now, if you correct me in the comment section and I read your comment and I see that, yes, I have made a mistake here, I always acknowledge it immediately without wasting any time. But when I see that you are trying to correct me, but you are the one making a mistake, then instead of me to talk too much, I will give you the link or the phone number to call me. And of course, let us debate it live and direct while every other person is listening. Because if I win you, meaning that I have taught you a lesson, so you are not the only one who is going to learn, because definitely there are some other people who reason like you. So those people who think like you will as well learn at the same time, during the process. So not only you, but if you win me, then those who think like me will as well have the opportunity to learn during that very process. So that's why I always give opportunity for argument and debate. So please, if you are an obedient and you are listening to me right now, I want you to get ready, because once I share the link to this very to the studio, I would like you to click the link and join me live in the studio. Let us debate one-on-one. Let us talk to ourselves so that everybody will listen. Bring your own brain, bring your best brain, bring it here to the table, while I will bring my own and we will debate. I always like to give chance, even though you do not believe in what we are doing. I always like to give chance for a debate so that everybody will be clear. So that is it. Now, because I talked about this during my pre-recorded broadcast yesterday, I will not be reading everything written, on this article or publication. I wouldn't be reading all of it. So I would just go straight to the point and read it, and then start playing some other videos that I have at hand, so that we can be able to dissect them. Now, according to the write-up, they said presidential candidate of Labour Party in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, has lamented the level of insecurity in Nigeria, calling for the release of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, other freedom fighters, and any NSAS protesters still being detained. Obi, who spoke to journalists on Saturday morning in Onitsha, called on leaders to double their effort in providing security for citizens, saying that if nothing was done, the country may become a failed nation, which we all know that the country has already failed. It is just because of hypocrisy. That's why they are not acknowledging it. Now, he said, the primary work of government is the security of lives and property. It is the foundation on which people can live in any nation, because no one can stay in an insecure place. And remember, when they say nation, they are using that word to deceive themselves, because as far as we're concerned, as far as we know the meaning of nationhood, the zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, does not in any way whatsoever fall in that category. Now, it is worrisome what is happening in Nigeria with the news of killings, abductions, and others, which has made Nigeria one of the most insecure places on the surface of the earth. In fact, it is leading to a failed nation. Now, I thank government for their efforts so far, but there is need to do more, and all leaders must come together to join hands and fight this. In the Southeast, there is need for the governors to come together to be able to tackle this. Now listen, he said, even on economic agenda, I want to see the Southeast governors work closely more. We want to see them come together and also bring together other groups in the zone. Now, giving his views on the continued detention of Kanu, Obi said, I don't see any reason for his continued detention, especially as the courts have granted him bail. Government must obey the court. Now, this is where I want to, talk about. This is the exact place that I really want to talk about. So let me finish it. Let me finish it just here. He said, rule of law is an intricate asset that we must cherish and live with. I use this opportunity to plead with government to ensure that all those who are in similar conditions are released and discussed with. We are in a democracy, and we should not be doing things that are arbitrary and not within the law. And not within the law. So now, you can see what Peter Obi said here. This is the main place. If I be Abado here, if I know I be Abado. According to Peter Obi, he said he is talking about the victory of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the appeal court that took place. When did that happen? I think October. I think it happened in October 2022, if I'm not wrong. Somebody can, correct me in the comment section. Somebody can help me. Is it October 2022 or is it October 2023? I don't think it's October. It's not October. 2023. I think it's 2022. Please help me in the comment section. When was that victory achieved? Mazinam de Kanu's acquittal in the court of appeal. I believe it was in October, but I am getting it mixed up between 2022 and 2023. But I believe it's 2022. Yes, I believe it's 2022 for sure. It's 2022. Yes. Now, Peter Obi is now leveraging on that judgment of appeal court, so that Mazinam Dekano should be released, given the order of appeal court, which discharged Mazinam Dekano, right? So, please, if you are not hearing my voice, endeavor to let me know in the comment section. Very, very important, because I like when I ask a question. Those who are aware of it should, help me with the answers immediately, because when you mount on this microphone, you are I'm not a computer. I may not remember every single thing that I want to say or that I'm supposed to say. So if my voice is not coming out, please let me know in the comment section, my beloved brethren. So Peter Obi, leveraging on the appeal court judgment which took place on October, which I strongly believe that happened in 2022. Sure. Now, in 2023 was early 2023, there was, or should I say, was the time and moment when Peter Obi and co were touring the whole world campaigning to become the president of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. I want to show you the reason why I said that the case of Mazinam Dekano cannot in any way be, politicized. We are not going to allow that to happen. Mazinam Dekano himself cannot allow himself to be politicized. So we outside cannot allow his case to be politicized by or using media means to politicize the case of Mazinam Dekano. So we are not going to allow that to happen. Now, Peter Obi was gallivanting all over the places, campaigning from the end of 2022 to the early part of 2023 until that, until that very election, until the election day. Peter Obi had been going up and down campaigning with his running mate, Dati. They were singing for him, obedient to obedient. The other one sang, what's the name of that boy? They called him, what's the name of that song? Labor song. I don't know. I forgot that song. I forgot the name of that song. That young man, the mechanic boy, who sang song for Peter Obi, and that song went viral. So he never for one day advocated for the release of Mazinam Dekano. LP, thank you. Thank you, Star Chinedu. Some people say, it's political, it's politics. If he talk about the release of Mazinam Dekano now, that those who would have voted for him, wouldn't have voted or wouldn't vote for him. And I ask myself, listen, Atiku Abubakar, who was the vice president of the Zoological Republic, made a comment against the stoning of Deborah. I want you to pay attention. During that campaign period, Atiku Abubakar, who has higher level in politics than Peter Obi by far, because Atiku Abubakar has served the Zoological Republic for 8 good years as the deputy president. So he has far higher political level than Peter Obi. And again, he was, and he's still a top member of the People's Democratic Party. Now, this Atiku Abubakar, with all his levels, his fame, and his, connections and, massive, followership, made a comment against the stoning of the late Deborah. Do you know what happened? The northern youths, they besieged his comment section on X. They threatened that they are not going to vote for him again, for him to dare speak against the stoning of Deborah, knowing fully well that was a crime. That was a crime. Taking law into your hand, stoning an innocent person in the name of religion is a crime against humanity. They know very well, because in the so-called constitution of the zoo, there is no any space, no chance at all for jungle justice. No chance. So now, Atiku Abubakar, knowing that, look, this is evil, he came out, even though his religion, even though the people who committed that crime are people from his religion, who claim to fight for their God. Because I've never seen where you are fighting for your God before. To me, it's only a coward that will say, I'm fighting for my God, as far as I'm concerned. Because your God, that's why he's called God. He is above you. He is bigger than you. You can never be above your God. Your God will always be bigger than you and above you. So if you say you are fighting for your God, so that means they're supposed to examine your brain and your thinking faculty to know if you are normal. Yes. So those who say they are fighting for their God and they stoned an innocent young girl, they know very well that those who have brain know that these people have committed abomination. These are one of the things that lay curse upon a land or a nation. So Atiku spoke against that, that incident. And after the threat on his comment section, he deleted that comment on Twitter. That condemnation of that heinous crime committed by his northern youths, he deleted the comment and tendered a public apology. He retrieved and retreated. Then you ask yourself why. It is all because of politics. All because of politics. So if Atiku can descend so low to retrieve his comment, deleted his comment, and retreated. Now, imagine Peter Obi saying this same thing he has said here on your screen during that very campaign, which is the truth. which is being sincere, that there is no need. And he said, I see no need of keeping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention. I see no reason. I see no reason for keeping or for his continued detention. I see no reason. This man said, I see no reason for his continued detention. That is the comment of Peter Obi. I'm going to play the video for you. I will play the video here, which is the truth. Because of the judgment of the appeal court in October 2022. So I see no reason of keeping him in detention. Peter Obi, instead of him to stand on that truth, if I want to fail election, let me fail election, but let me stand on the truth. We are not even talking about being an Igbo man, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being an Igbo man. We are not talking about tribe now. This has nothing to do with tribe now. Let me stand on the truth. Whether it will cost me the election, no problem. Everything should not be politics and criminality. So, Peter Obi, when they asked him about IPOB, this is the first of all, let me play this current comment. Let me play it for you. After then I will now show you what he. No, I think I have to go first. Let me go first of all to his comment on IPOB during that campaign. And he knew that court, the same court he's quoting today, had already granted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had already discharged unconditionally, had already discharged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally, had released him unconditionally, even asked the zoo government to apologize to him and, of course, pay him back for the damages that they have caused for kidnapping him, and they extraordinarily rendition him to the zoo, that he should be compensated. Peter Obi is aware, the whole world is aware of that judgment. The whole world, including United Nations, is aware of that very judgment. Peter Obi, when they asked him during that same campaign, this voice that he has today, this voice he suddenly gathered today, was not there. That's why if you go through this very, title, the title of this very broadcast is Peter Obi's call for Kanu's release, genuine or another Azikiwe from the East? Is a question. Is it genuine, or is it another Nnamdi Azikiwe from the East? That is the title of this very, broadcast. So let me refresh your memory. Let me show you his comment on IPOB, his first one and the second one, and then we'll see the latest outburst. Now pay attention.
Maybe you're not following me. Even yesterday, I spoke about Biafra. What is your IPOB? Maybe you're not following me. Even yesterday, I spoke about Biafra being ended 53 years ago. It's all over the place in the space.
He said, maybe you are not following me, that yesterday, this was during the during the campaign, he said, Biafra ended 54 years ago. That was Peter Obi. On the issue of IPOB, they asked him a question, and this thing happened at the Chatham House in London. It is only in the zoo, if not in Africa, that somebody is fighting to become the president of that country, and then they have to go for a debate in Chatham House. Only in Africa, because you have gullible idiots who carry only headless chickens, parabolating all over the places, running helter-skelter, doing everything that they could, doing everything that it takes just to become a president. Only in Africa. People they speak like as if they are too wise and educated. Like Peter Obi will will give you the GDPs of all the countries of the world. Peter Obi have it off head. Even upon his age, who are supposed to be forgetting some certain things, Peter Obi will give you the GDPs of all the nations in the world. You think he has brain, you think he has sense. He knows absolutely nothing. He knows nothing. If he has brain, he should have known that, no, this is not good. This is not necessary. I am not supposed to go for a debate at the Chatham House only for me to become president of the zoo called Nigeria. Oh, hi. So you are, not activating. You are legitimizing the illegitimacy of the British colonialism. Can somebody help me? Am I getting it right? You are trying to validate the criminality of the British in Africa. You see that? You are validating it. Going to Britain for a debate to become president in Nigeria that is the height of it all. And he went there. They asked him about his brothers and sisters in the East. Look at what he said.
What is your IPOB? Maybe you're not following me. Even yesterday, I spoke about Biafra being ended 53 years ago. It's all over the place in this space.
And he was boasting. They were clapping for him. He was boasting. He was boasting. They were applauding him. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness me. Let's listen to him.
Biafra being ended 53 years ago. It's all over the place in this space. I condemn all agitators, but
he said he condemned all agitators. What is wrong with our people? What is wrong with our people? I condemn all. He said, though, I'm not the one who's saying it. Peter Obi said he condemned all agitators. All agitators. So, somebody who claims to be a brilliant person, well educated for sure, no doubt about that. He went to school, opened his mouth, and not just being well educated, but this man should be a Democrat. This man should be a very civilized individual, a very civilized human being, a resound person. That is what Peter Obi should have been. Just like when I said yesterday during my pre-recorded broadcast, I said Peter Obi is the direct replacement of Azikiwe. I'm telling you, well, very resound, very well-trained, well-nurtured. Even the way he talks or the way he dresses, you see that this person was well-trained from background. He didn't force himself to become a guy. He's a born guy man. But all this training and all this nurture with your money and your civility are not enough for you to know that agitation, protest, or whatsoever is the inalienable right of a people to know what to fight or to agitate for what they want. With all your civilization and everything, they are not enough for you to know that it is the right of the people to agitate. And here he was at the Chatham House in the land of those who claim to be the founders of, the democracy or, a civilization whatsoever in their soil, telling you that he condemns all All. He said all type of agitation. Let's listen to him again. Although he tried to blend it to the government and all that because of he's a politician vying to become the president. Let's listen to it.
Biafra being ended 53 years ago. It's all over the place in this space. I condemn all agitators, but in condemning them, you have to look at what brought about these agitations all over the place.
Do you now understand it? He has turned to blame it on the government. But remember, he has already satisfied his masters by saying, I condemn all agitators. It doesn't matter what he says next. He said, but in condemning it, you have to look at what brought the agitation. But this one is because he's a politician. So what he did there is using one stone to buy two birds. Because he believes he's wise. He's using he's using one stone to buy two birds. One stone is to satisfy his masters at the Chatham House, to let them know, yes, if I become the president, forget it, the zoo will continue. There will be nothing like Biafra. That one is done and dusted. That is the first target of saying, I condemn all agitators. Now, for him to say, in condemning it, you have to check what caused it, which he now landed to the government of the zoo. You understand me? So the second stone is to use it to buy the second bird, which is condemning the APC government of the zoo, so that the zoo animals can be able to vote him in as the president elect. When we watch videos or we listen to people, we reason properly. We don't just watch and like a nabe. Nabe tortoise. On a de kweni obun nabe ngwere ago na de kweni isi. We don't just watch and nod our heads like lizard. No. He used one stone to chase two birds, but he lost it all. Now let's listen to him and then we'll move to the next video.
All agitators, but in condemning them, you have to look. Yesterday, I spoke about Biafra being ended 53 years ago. It's all over the place in this space. I condemn all agitators, but in condemning them, you have to look at what brought about these agitations all over the place. It's not only IPOB. We have Yoruba Nation movement. We have all sorts. When you have created this level of massive poverty, where 63% of your population is poor, you're going to create all sorts of problems.
Now, you have heard him. The second stone was to use it to buy the second bird, which is just to criticize or to lay the blame on the government of the APC that, brought that they are the reason or the cause of the agitation, so that people will be able to abandon APC and, of course, vote for him. These are two things that, he pursued. Now, I'm just analyzing it. I'm not condemning Obio. I'm not condemning him. I'm just analyzing, because after then, I will open the line for our people to call in and make their own contribution. Yes, so it's now left for our people, because what we are trying to avoid is to politicize the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra. That is what we are trying to avoid, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself as a person cannot be politicized. He cannot allow anybody to politicize either him or his situation. So, but because all these things are happening on media and people are listening, people are paying attention, and media have their own way of twisting, especially mainstream media of the zoo, have their own way of twisting the minds of those that call themselves Nigerians. So we are here to make things right, So that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out tomorrow and say, no, I will never accept your offer to leave Biafra, to abandon Biafra just for a mere release from dungeon, while my people, including myself, are still in the dungeon. We think we are free, but we are still in the dungeon. We are in the dungeon of the Fulani. We are in the dungeon of the British. But you want me to leave the dungeon of the DSS and continue in that same detention in the dungeon of the Fulani and the Fulani oligarchy and British. So these are two different things. I am very, very certain, based on who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never accept a mere freedom from detention of the DSS for the detention of the Biafran people under the Fulani Caliphate. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will never accept that. So now I'm trying to avoid in a situation whereby tomorrow all of these criminals who are gathering now, including Peter Obi, who are now gathering, putting pressure on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to accept political solutions, so that tomorrow when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say, no, I'm not going to accept your offer, they will now come out in the media and start condemning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Hey, we have done our best, we have done this, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not listening to us, or this and that. No, because the person who is sending all of them to come to the media and start singing the song of the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the federal government. In case you don't know, let me say it today. The federal government of the zoo is the one sending all these Igbo Efulefus to come to the media to start singing the song of the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu via political solution. So I don't want in a situation tomorrow, in a situation whereby tomorrow they will come and start, calling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu all sorts of names, insulting him on social media, trying to twist the minds of the people against him because he has rejected political solution. He has rejected it before. He has been rejecting it before, but it has never been made public as it is today. They have never come this, far with this pressure as it is today. So it is because of the heat that they are receiving from the government in exile, the government of Biafra in exile. Now, the government of the zoo, the FG of the zoo, has sent these vultures from the east to come and start pushing for political solution. They called it lobbying. They are lobbying the Fulani. They are lobbying for all the lawmakers from all 6 geopolitical zones of the zoo. These are the work of the federal government of the zoo. Now, let me play you the second video before showing you the current video of Peter Obi, where he said what you are watching on the screen. Now, let's remember. I want to remind you again his previous video.
So I just want you to come out and categorically tell us your position on IPOP.
Whoever tells you that is not English. What I've always
justify their activities. So I just want you to come out and categorically.
Did you understand the question? The caller asked Peter Obi that people are saying that you are justifying the activities of IPOB. This is still during the campaign, right? During the campaign, Peter Obi emphatically responded to the caller that whoever that says that is lying to you. Let's listen to him again.
Justify their activities. So I just want you to come out and categorically tell us your position on IPOP.
Whoever tells you that is not English. What I've always said is.
Did you hear that? Okay, let's continue first.
Whoever tells you that is not English. What I've always said is this, and I maintain that. One is that I've watched killings in the East and everything, and that you cannot kill or do wrong things because you agitate.
And who is doing that? Who is doing that? Is there any time that IPOB came out and tell you, we are the one doing all this thing? No. What we know is that we, the Biafra people, under the Biafra government in exile, have resulted in fighting back against those who have come to destroy our land and our people, against those who come here and massacre our people with AK-47 and go scot-free. They call them unknown soldiers. Against terrorists in uniform who come here to terrorize our people, especially our women and children. Because in the society, it is seen that these two, people are the most vulnerable people in society. So that's why we do everything humanly possible to protect them. So we have resulted in fighting back in self-defense and in protection of our land and our women and children. That is what we are doing. So if that is what P2B is talking about, then now you judge it by yourself. But if he's talking about the mayhem unleashed against our own people by the same DSS and the Deadman Squad of Chinas and Woru, then tell me who are the people doing it. Because as far as I'm concerned, IPOB, be it Mazinam Kano's IPOB of Biafra as a whole, or the IPOB led by the criminals in the defunct DOS, I have never seen anywhere that name called IPOB came out and claimed responsibility of the mayhem that melted against our people, melted on our people during, during this period of sit at home. I didn't see anything like that. So how come somebody called and asked? Because I've not even talked about this video from that very day till today. I've not analyzed this before. How come somebody came out, called on phone? Somebody called on phone and asked you that it's like you are supporting the activities of IPOB, and then you refer it immediately to the clients of people. Can you imagine that? Now, let's listen to him. Let us pay attention to him.
What I've always said is this, and I maintain that. One is that I've watched killings in the East and everything, and you cannot kill or do wrong things because you agitate. It is wrong, it's criminal. Any day, anytime I condemn it. On any form of, you cannot say you are agitating and you're killing people. It is unacceptable.
Who is doing the buying? That is the question. Who is doing the buying? Is it not the same zoo army? We have all the evidences. What about the bomb that they threw at Eko Tutu? What about the Eko Tutu bombing? Who massacred our people at Aba High School? Is it not the same zoo agents? Who massacred our people at Onitsha Head Bridge? Is it not the same zoo agent? Who are the people doing this buying of 18? What about our people? What about the MNE and the LME? What about our people that were sent to judgment at MNE? Is it MNE or LME in Enugu State? Can somebody help me, correct me in the comment section, please? I know that in Igbo land we have LME and we have MNE. Which one is in Enugu, please? Is it MNE? I think it's MNE. MNE in Enugu State, where our people were having meeting in the school. They came there and sent our youth to judgment. Yeah, MNE. Thank you, Arinze. So who did that? Now P2B himself, who is talking. I'm going to get to the place. Let me continue first. I will get there.
It is not acceptable. If if you want to do what I'm saying, that when people talk about agitation, it is a different thing. We can deal with all those things by dialogue. Today, Peter B is president. I can tell you, our dialogue with all agitators.
Okay.
This is a normal thing in a normal society.
Did you hear that? I want you to pick that point. He said there is a difference between agitation, and he also said that if Peter Obi becomes president today, that he's going to dialogue with all the agitators. But we are going to know who is Peter Obi referring to agitators and who is Peter Obi referring as criminals. I want you to pay very, very good attention, because the place where I'm going now, I didn't see anybody who went there during the time this video was flying all over the places. People were, making videos, analyzing it and everything. I didn't see person. I didn't see somebody touchlighted that very place where I'm going now. Let us listen to him. Remember his comment. He said he's going to dialogue with all agitators. But just pay attention.
We can deal with all those things by dialogue. Today, Peter B is president. I can tell you, our dialogue with all agitators. This is a normal thing in a normal society, a democratic society. But I will not discuss with criminals.
Did you hear that? He said he's going to dialogue with all the agitators because it is the necessary thing to do within the society, democratic society, which is fine, right? Very, very right? Now, he also said that he is not going to dialogue with criminals, which is also right. Now, we want to know from the same Peter Obi who is actually the agitators and who is the criminals. Now, pay attention, my people.
If you kill or kidnap or maim people, we will deal with it decisively. And I've done it in Anambra as a governor.
Did you hear that? He said he did it in Anambra as a governor. What were they doing in Anambra when you did it, Peter Obi?
I dialogue with those who think to be dialogued.
We only know that people who were agitating during Peter Obi was Owazurike under Masob. Peter Obi never for one single day dialogued with Owazurike. As a matter of fact, Owazurike made confession. Owazurike said by himself, with his own mouth, that he was neglected and abandoned. That these people, Peter Obi and co., told, what's the name, Obasanjo, to ignore him. That he was ignored. I wish I could see that video now. Can I see that video? Can I? Let's listen to Peter Obi. I'll look for that video.
And I dealt with those who needs to be dealt with. Go and check it. Nana said, when I came kidnapping, everything was everywhere.
It is a lie, Peter Obi. There are criminals. We cannot say that there are no criminals. Criminals have always been there. I cannot say because I'm an Igbo man, so therefore there is no criminality in our Igbo. No, I cannot say that. Otokoto was an Igbo man. Otokoto was an Igbo man. He was there in Owerri doing his cannibalistic business with the likes of Hope Uzodimma. Today he's a governor. So I cannot stand here and tell you that there was no criminality in Igbo. In the whole Igbo land that time, we had criminals. Like Hope Uzodimma is one of them. Otokoto, we all know. Then if you are talking about ritualists and all that, we talk about Ezego, them Ezegi here and others, Obanes and all of them. But pure criminal elements like cannibals and kidnappers and all that, they were there. Otokoto was there. So these criminals have always been there, but they have never in any way agitated with Owazurike, or they have never in any way came out on their own to declare that our intention is freedom for Biafra. It has never happened in our history. During the time of Peter Obi, we only know what's the name? Masob. and they were dedicated for freedom of Biafra. So if Peter Obi say he dealt with the criminals, are you calling those that you pied and you gave a marching order, shoot at sight, and they were pied and dumped in Ezu River? Are those the people you are calling the criminals that you say you dealt with? We want to know, because Peter Obi has to come out and explain all these things to us, so that we can stop calling his name unnecessarily, if truly we are calling his name unnecessarily. So Peter Obi, are you calling those Masob members that you gave instruction of shoot at sight, and Nigerian army by them and dump their body in Ezu River? Are they the people you are actually calling criminals that you dealt with? We want to know, and we're going to know it even right here in this same video that he made. Let's listen to him.
And I dealt with it head on. That's how it is done. You don't go and mix say a Sunday who's talking about agitation. You can.
Did you get it? He has finally said it. This is where I wanted to land. I said in a couple of minutes ago that there is something he said at the end of this clip where nobody has talked about. Remember the first one? He said that he is going to dialogue with the agitators and deal with the criminals. Now, he said he dealt with the criminals in Anambra when he was Anambra State Governor, right? Now, look at his submission and his conclusion. Pay attention, my people, because the day I watched this very clip, from that day, I knew who Peter Obi really is. Listen.
And I dealt with it head on. That's how it is done. You don't go and mix say a Sunday who's.
Who is what?
Talking about agitation. You can come.
Who is talking about agitation? Did you get that? They asked him about IPOB. This is what people did not get. Nobody got it. They asked him about IPOB. That is the question. It's like you are, siding the activities of IPOB. He said no. The person who told you that lied to you. He said that if he becomes the president, he will dialogue with agitators. That is, I'm quoting Peter Obi, so that tomorrow nobody will say that I bullied him or I lied against him. No, I'm quoting him. He said that he will dialogue with agitators and deal with criminals. So at the end of his submission or response to that question, he said, you don't go and mix Sunday. Or the same thing with Mazi. This is what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out to save our people. Our people who are suffering in the hands of the Fulani. Our people who are dying at the Mediterranean Sea. Is it sea or sea? In the Mediterranean Sea, our people are being drowned in that very high sea, Mediterranean Sea. Our people n'obodo Igbo just to succeed. Our people who are doing everything that it takes just to put food, in the table. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out, volunteered himself to save them, to save all of us. These same people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out to save. Abaka Kono Leye. You see the kind of people we have. The same people Mazi Nnamdi Kanu bialu to save. Abakota Kono Leye Lesia Ndiro. The same people he came out to save from their hand. You see the irony. Which kind of world do we live in? Which kind of world? Peter Obi condemning his own people and praising others. He said that you can't go and bring, join Sunday Igboho, who is talking about agitation, and mix it with the people in the east. Of course, no other place. Mix it with the people in the southeast who are buying people. That is what Peter B is telling you. Am I the one who said it? Let us listen to him again.
And I dealt with those who needs to be dealt with. Go and check it. Nana said, when I came kidnapping, everything was everywhere. And I dealt with it head on. That's how it is done. You don't go and mix say a Sunday who's talking about agitation. You can call him and let's hear your view. Maybe there are some things you can correct. It's simple.
Did you get that? They asked him, look, I don't know if you listened to the question, or they asked him, why are you keeping, let's listen to the question only.
Justify their activities.
Why are you justifying the activities of IPOB? Peter B said, I am not justifying their activities, because if I become president today, I will deal with the criminals and negotiate with the agitators. And who are these agitators? He said, you cannot mix. You don't go and bring Sunday Igboho, who is talking about agitation, and mix with who? Mazi Kanu now, who is in the detention. You see the comparison. You see the comparison. So Sunday Igboho was talking about agitation, while IPOB is talking about buying people. That is what P2B has told everybody, that he's going to deal with the IPOB and negotiate with Sunday Igboho, who is actually agitating. Now, all these things he said just to please the North. Remember, I want you to remember, he's saying all these things not just for any other thing, just to please the North. So that the North, the Fulani will say, okay, you are our boy, you are our puppet, okay, let us allow you to win. Let us give you the mantle to lead the zoo, at least for some time, for 4 years, and then we'll take it back from you. At the end of everything, the Fulani he was trying to convince failed him. Because of what? Fulani is also wise. They are not that coward. They are not that foolish. They know that if you can betray your own people in the public like this, if you can betray your own people, then if we allow you to come here, you will betray us more than your people. If you can publicly betray your own people, that is the reason why Azikiwe has never become the ruler of Nigeria until he joined his ancestors. Sorry, that name is not supposed to be attached. That Nnamdi, that name is holy. Zikiwe, that is the reason why today nobody remembers that name. Nobody, no single person remembers that name in Ali Igbo today. We remember Ojukwu. We remember our fallen heroes. Every 30th of May is a public holiday in entire Biafra land. We remember our fallen heroes. We remember Mbono Jike. We remember Philip Effiong. We remember many of them that fought the war. We remember them. We remember Chukwu Manzog with them, even though he was one Nigerianist. We remember them. We remember many of them. We remember them. But a man with that heavy name, Azikiwe, Zik of Africa, nobody remembers that name in the entire Alibo. Because of what? He wanted to please the North and betray his own people. Therefore, North never trusted him. That is the reason why he never ruled Nigeria for 1 single second. For 1 single second, he never ruled the zoo. after being the front bearer, the person who actually liberated the zoo from the colonial masters. Yet he never ruled the zoo for one single day, not even a single second. They made him ceremonial president, while Tafawa Balewa was the prime minister. The man that is in power, the man that was in power and was giving command of every single thing. You see that? Because of betrayal. So you will go and negotiate with Sunday Igboho because he's talking about agitation. You never knew that the agitation of Sunday Igboho never arrived. That is the reason why you saw him talking on the social media without any action. Because of what? He was just starting. And the zoo was aware that if he is left unchecked, his agitation will mature like that of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was talking. He was talking without any action. Nobody paid attention to him. When he was arrested in 2015, he spent 2 years in Kuje, and he was later released. He was later released without even too much pressure like as it is today. But when he formed Eastern Security Network, they knew, yes, that this fight don't mature. They went, they broke all the laws and went all the way to Kenya to kidnap him because they knew that the jungle don't mature. Jungle don't mature. That is the problem. So if Sunday Igboho was talking, and then even by the time they began to deal with him and his members, even the day they came to assassinate him in his house, they killed some people. Yes, some people killed. And if Sunday Igboho, left and was not arrested in Benin Republic, and he managed to reach Germany, where his wife is a citizen, you think he would have stopped? Do you think he would have stopped? He would have been speaking from Germany. He would have been talking and sending messages and instructions from Germany. And by the time the zoo under Buhari deal with his, members, then they're going to their own jungle would have matured, and they would have taken up arms to defend themselves. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not come out and form Eastern Security Network. No, don't forget what Nyesom Wike did to our people in Obibo. So, and this man was there. Now, this is the current video after saying all these things, and these things was during the election. Now, let us see the current video, and then we'll ask ourselves important question: why the sudden change?
Some people have attributed it to the continued incarceration of people, Nnamdi Kanu. And people like Ohanese and several other individuals have called for the release of that young man. I don't know what your own take is about that.
My take is very simple. And I've said it repeatedly. That I don't see anything why his continued detention. Quite frankly. Especially as the law, the courts have granted him bail. Government must obey the law. Rule of law is an intrinsic asset that we must cherish and live with. And I've said I'm going to discuss with every agitator. And I use the same opportunity to plead to government to ensure that all those who are in similar conditions are released and discussed with. We're a democratic government. We shouldn't be doing things that are arbitrary and not within the law.
Okay. Now, I'm going to show you. He said he negotiated with agitators during Owazirike's time, during his time, and Owazirike. I'm going to show you what Owazirike said. Let's listen to Peter Obi once again.
down to the southeast here. Some people have attributed it to the continued incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. And people like Ohanese and several other individuals have called for the release of that young man. I don't know what your own take is about that.
My take is very simple, and I've said it repeatedly, that I don't see anything why his continued detention. Quite frankly. Especially as the courts have granted him bail. Government must obey the law. Rule of law is an intrinsic asset that
Sorry for that. Let's continue.
cherish, especially as the law.
It's about that.
My take is very simple, and I've said it repeatedly, that I don't see anything why his continued detention.
Did you hear that? He does not see anything why he is continued. He does not see anything why he should be in detention. Let's listen to him again.
Why his continued detention?
It's about that.
My take is very simple, and I've said it repeatedly, that I don't see anything why his continued detention.
I don't see anything why his continued detention. Yes, that is now Peter Obi. Is it because he has failed in the election and today he wants to, because you know that time they told us, leave Biafra first, leave Biafra agitation, let us support our own. Peter Obi is our own. If he wins, he is going to do this and that. But if he fails, we will start again fighting for Biafra. Umokoko. This is how people who are not mentally sound reason. I don't know you listening to me, and I don't know if you're among those that reason like that during that time. But I'm sorry, but because at least today your eye don't clear. Your eye don't clear now. So is Peter be that people that say, let us abandon Biafra for now and fight for our own person to win, agitation, to win presidency. Then if he doesn't win, we will come back to begin to agitate. We don't reason that way. You can never see a genuine freedom fighter who reasons like that. If what a child, if what Gigialo, what's the name of that reptile? Somebody remind me the name of that reptile that changes color. Okpoko. Then what's the name? Hi. Can somebody remind me the name of Okpoko in English language in the comment section, please? Can you remind me the name of Okpoko? Chameleon, thank you, Florence. Chameleon. You see that? So, are you a chameleon? The world does not listen to such people. You must be straightforward. Don't be a chameleon. So, this sudden change of Peter Obi, is it because he failed? Is it because he failed? And he don't clear for an eye now. Even in the party where he cross-carpeted, in the party where he gerrymandered, from PDP, he gerrymandered to Labour Party. That same party has dealt with him. I'm not even talking about the zoo politics. I'm now talking about the small party that he cross-carpeted from PDP to that party called Labour Party, has also dealt with him seriously. And who are the people dealing with him in that party? Those are called, they say they are not Biafrans, they are Edo, they are there. Afonjas, they are there. Fulanis, they are there. These are the people who are dealing with him decisively in that same small party that he cross-carpeted into. So maybe, I don't know, has his eyes open, but because even if you read forward, if you go down to this article here, if you read further, let me look at it here. They ask him about margin, about party merger, merging Labour Party and the PDP. Look at what he said. First of all, he said that he's not even talking about, look at it. He said, our people are dying of hunger. How do we make life more conducive for the poor Nigerian? How do we make our people to earn more money? How do we pull people out of poverty? That should be our concern, and not forming a mega party. Not forming a mega party. Now, in that same comment, within some seconds, he changed automatically. Look at it. He said, but if forming mega party is to be able to provide all these things I have illustrated, then I am in for it. I am all for it. Politicians, we are going to deal with, you see, there are two things we are going to deal with in Africa. You see, number one is politics. We are going to deal with this African crook and criminal politics, this criminalized politics in Africa. We are going to deal with it decisively. Decisively. We are going to bring out time to deal with the criminalized politics of Africa. The people who brought politics to us, this is not how they play their own politics. The Europeans, the Westerners that brought politics to us, and what do you call it, democracy. This is not how they do their own politics. So we are going to deal with it very, very well, so that we can have sound politics in Africa. We can be able to play very sound politics in Africa. Politics of truth. We need politics of truth in Africa, that Africa may move forward. If not, forget it. We will continue going around the circle till eternity. Africa will remain impoverished. I'm telling you the truth. So once Biafra comes, the first thing we're going to do, once we have, formed a new government of Biafra, immediately Biafra is restored. We'll form a new government. The Biafran people will come together and choose who leads them in every office of government. And then we will start dealing with African politics. Not politicians, but politics of Africa. And of course, when you deal with the politics of Africa, you are also dealing with those who criminalized politics in Africa. You see that? He changed, boom. But if mega party or margin party will provide all these things I have illustrated, then I'm all in for it. You see that? He said, but if it is for state capture so that you can take power and continue with the consumption that we see today, I will say no. But if it is to move into production, then I say yes. So Peter Obi will cross carpet again back to PDP, or even the worst, which is APC, and he will tell you, oh, I have come here to turn our consumption into production. Akoleaka umuokoko, they will clap for him. And they will clap for him. Akoleaka. Now, yeah, somebody say Ogumagala. Yes, I think that's the right name. Not Okpoko. I think Okpoko is something like grasshopper, if I'm not mistaken. Ogumagala, that is the Igbo name. Chameleon is the English name. Thank you, Henry. I think Henry is the one that corrected me in the comment section. You see that? So this is the politics that you have today in Africa, and we are going to deal with it. So what the sudden change? What is sudden change? That is going to be our question today. And of course, as I continue with this analysis, I'm going to share the link in the comment section so that those of you who would want to join me live in the studio will do the same while we analyze it together. Like as I have said before, I did not come here to batch on Peter Obi. I didn't come here to castigate him or to insult him or to pull him down or to make him not to demand for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu again. No, I am more concerned of making the situation or politicizing the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I am more concerned, and I cannot allow these politicians to use the situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to play politics. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on his own will never allow that to happen. He has already rejected that even before now. But on media, if something is not done, they will change the narratives and turn the minds of the people. So this we cannot allow. So those of you who would want to join me, of course, the link is already in the chat section. You can click the link and join me live in this studio. Let me try and pin it. Yeah, I have pinned it on top of the chat section. Even if you are joining me now and you want to make your comment, you can click the link on top of the chat section and join me live and direct. Now we move. You see, let's listen to him. Let us hear Peter Obi. After Peter Obi, I will now play you the comment of Uwazurike. Uwazurike said something because Peter Obi said he negotiated with some of them. Now,
especially as the law, the courts have granted him bail. Government must obey the law. Rule of law is an intrinsic asset that we must cherish and live with. And I've said I'm going to discuss with every agitator. And I use the same opportunity to plead to government to ensure that all those who are in similar conditions are released and discussed with. We're a democratic government. We shouldn't be doing things that are arbitrary.
We are in democratic government and we should not be doing things arbitrary. And during that campaign, we were not in democratic government. Now, let's listen to Uwazurike briefly before I will start welcoming some of our brothers who have already joined me in the studio.
The government ignored me. Obasanjo ignored me. Obasanjo ignored me. The government ignored me. They never negotiated with me. But today you have seen those who...
Did you hear that? Uwazurike said, they never negotiated with me. That is from Uwazurike that Peter Obi claimed, because no other person that was agitated, that was talking about Biafra during that time, if not Uwazurike, it's only Uwazurike. He said, they never negotiated with me. Oh. And remember that this video has been there since last year. Now let's watch again.
Obasanjo ignored me. The government ignored me. They never negotiated with me. But today you have seen those you cannot ignore. It's affecting you, affecting me, affecting everybody. Today, many of you cannot enter the southeast because you thought they were the politicians from Igbo land who asked Obasanjo then to ignore me, that the best thing he would do was to ignore me.
Did you hear him? Because there were some politicians from the southeast that time who asked Obasanjo to ignore him. that the best thing to do was to ignore him. Let's hear him again. Let's conclude it. Let us conclude it.
People land who asked Obasanjo, because you thought they were the politicians from Igbo land who asked Obasanjo then to ignore me, that the best thing he would do was to ignore me. Obasanjo ignored me. The government ignored me. They never negotiated with me. But today you have seen those you cannot ignore. It's affecting you, affecting me, affecting everybody. Today, many of you cannot enter the southeast because you thought they were the politicians from
Guinea. All right, let me welcome, of course, some of our brethren in the studio. Saw immediately. All right, Erasmus, please, of course, my own person, unmute yourself and grab the microphone.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, please go ahead.
Exactly. Now, let me tell you my take on Peter Obi on that statement that he made. I believe that he's a selfish, self-centered man who is only interested in being the president or vice president of Nigeria. It does not matter to him if he gets to be president or vice president on the grave of Biafrans. And I'm going to give you the reasons why I say so. Now, Peter Obi refused to make any comment about the killings in Biafra land. The buying of people by Bubiagu, the military, where military was using machine gun in Enugu. He refused to make any single comment. But he was busy making any comments on anything that happens in the north. When a lawyer was spied by a police officer in the Aja, Peter Obi was one of the first people to speak. But when 14 youths were gunned down by Bubiagu in Imo State, Peter Obi remained short. That's one. He avoided making any statement about the release of Mazunadi Kanu for the past 3 years because he wanted to be president. Even when the appeal courts discharged him and acquitted him, he refused to say anything. Now, if you listen to that speech that you just played, there was something you missed there. Peter Obi in that speech said that the court has granted him bail. No court granted Nnamdi Kanu bail since his kidnapping. All the courts, both the high courts, the two judgments from the high court, the appeal court, discharged him and said he should be released and paid compensation. But Peter Obi deceptively said he was granted bail. Do you think it was a mistake? No. Peter Obi is a man of data. Peter Obi can quote the GDP of all the countries in the world. Suddenly, the same Peter Obi did not know that Nnamdi Kanu was not granted bail, that he was discharged. Do you think he made a mistake? No, he didn't make a mistake. He intentionally
I think it's intentional.
Yes, he intentionally did it. It's not as if he didn't. Now, he knows that the reason, this brings me to the reason why he's making this statement. He knows right now that Nnamdi Kanu is going to be released because of the pressure worldwide and nationwide. Now, because he's doing this for political gains, for political reasons, he wants to put his name amongst the people that at least requested for Nnamdi Kanu because he already knows that he's going to be released. Now, my thinking is that this man is thinking of becoming this guy's VP in 2027. Atiku. Because if you listen to that last thing he said, he talked about that merger. He said if it is something that will help to bring Nigeria, then he will not be against the merger. And you can see the Clandestine meeting going on in the north with different groups, El-Rufai, all of them going to meet Atiku, with Atiku, all of them going to meet Buhari. So that is what I so it's just for political gains. But for his mind, he does not know where Biafra Republic government in exile has gone to. So he thinks there will still be Nigeria for him to be contesting for vice president. He just wants his name to be there so that they will say, oh, when if he need the vote from Southeast, you believe there will still be Southeast, then you cannot say, oh, I was one of the people that requested for Nnamdi Kanu's release. Now, when MLK is released, it will not be because PO spoke. Because somebody like Tinubu does not even regard anything like PO. He's a one of the weakest politicians I've ever seen in this country. He won the election. He won 2023 election. In his face, the election was stolen from him direct. He could not organize a single protest to claim his mandate, and he's coming out to talk. Let me not say too much. For me, even if Nigeria was to remain for the next 100 years, somebody as weak as Peter Obi can never be the president of Nigeria. He's too weak to be president of Nigeria. And this speech that he gave is as good as Dodo, just like Osotome would say. It's useless because it does not make any difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Erasmus. God bless you for that wonderful submission you have just made. I appreciate that. All right. I clicked something right now. I don't know if I have blocked Erasmus from entering the studio. I don't know, but I will check. I will check that later. All right, my people. Like as I told you from beginning, I don't want this very broadcast to be up to 2 hours. We are going to be drawing the curtain. If you still want to make any comment, I think we can accept the comment from the chat section, because I will have to, draw the curtain right here because I still have some other engagement. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for joining me. Even today, being Sunday afternoon, people still deem it fit to join me on this very live broadcast in the afternoon, for that matter. Thank you so much. God bless you. I appreciate you. Please, once you listen to this, once you watch this very broadcast, before you leave, make sure that you hit the like button and share button so that others will be able to see this very broadcast. God bless you. At this moment, we are broadcasting on one platform, which is our new YouTube channel. So we are going to front a new Facebook page. All our pages have been dealt with. All our pages, including our main and biggest Facebook page, which is Biafra Unite channel. Biafra Unite television, with over 180,000 followers, have been dealt with. So we are going to float a new Facebook page. So just wait for it. It's going to happen very, very soon as possible. It's going to happen. So right now we are broadcasting on one platform, which is our new YouTube channel. So thank you so much. I appreciate you all. May God bless all the genuine freedom fighters, especially those in the government in exile, and those who believe in what we are doing. May God bless Mazi Simon Ekpa. May God bless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May God bless you all listening to us. Thank you, Happy Ume, for your super chat. I appreciate that. God bless you. And he said, we move Biafra first. Of course, Biafra first. God bless you. I appreciate everything. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend. I'm sorry I'm not going to welcome any other person. Those who have joined the studio, I'm sorry. You will have another day to come in and, of course, make your contribution. God bless you. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your weekend. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye from me from here. It is good evening.